any of those thoughts through my brain. Baby, I'm howling for you. Oh! There's something wrong with this plot. Actors here got no clue. Baby, I'm howling for you. Oh! Da 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 da. What's up?
Yeah. What's up? I love that song.
Dude, I was like, we're doing Black Keys.
I love it. I love that song.
That was an easy motherfucking choice.
Oh, sweat.
What's up, brother?
What is up? Been looking forward to this.
Welcome to the greatness machine, my brother. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing great. I'm doing wonderful today.
Guys, welcome to the greatness machine. I'm your host, Darius Mirshahzadeh, and boy, do we have a special guest for you. My man, one of my best friends in the whole wide world, Daniel Newhall. What up? Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Steve.
Dude, I'm so glad to have you here. Guys, those of you that are new to the show, which should be very far and few of you, we're about two things in this world. Dose. People are living their passions and those creating greatness in the world. My man Dan is doing both those things. We're going to jump into that in just a second. Before we go there, though, dude, do you mind if I do a little bit of housekeeping?
Please do. I'm ready.
Guys, we're live. We can start a watch party. Ask us questions. This mofo over here has like 20 fucking years of dirt on me, so this could get ugly.
Where do we start?
Oh, there's so much dirt here. It's disgusting. Like there's so much shit that we are not going to talk about. like 2 decades, and there's at least a decade that no one should remember.
Yeah, we'll just forget that decade. We'll call the 20s. We'll just leave as like a redacted part.
Yeah, they call those the knots. The knots. It did not happen. So guys, start a watch up party. Ask us questions. I'm telling you, like, with the exception of probably like 3 or 4 people on this earth, this man here knows more dirt about me than anyone should possibly ever know. But yeah, start a watch party. Ask us questions. Hit the love button. Hit the like button. All those things. Yeah. Got my team on standby. They'll be shooting questions our way. With that in mind, my man, the one, the only Daniel Newhall is here with us. My man, welcome to the show. I'm so fucking pumped to have you here.
Thanks, dude. I am excited as well. I'm curious what we're selling, because otherwise we'd just be on a FaceTime call.
Yeah, dude. We're just.
Are we selling hopes and dreams here?
We're gonna sell hopes and dreams. Yes. We're selling hopes and dreams. All right.
That's my favorite thing to sell.
I'm gonna can I get some background on you? Do you mind?
Please.
All right, guys. So when most people, I have a really abbreviated origin story, but this one's gonna go on for like 5 minutes. So take us back to the fall of 2001. Yeah, me and this guy met like a week after 9/11, and we were standing on the quiet, destitute street of 26th and Mission in San Francisco, California, in front of this nightclub called 26 Mix, where we were poor, hungry, and smart, poor, and hungry, and we were.
Yeah, that's right. That's what we were.
we were smart, poor, and hungry.
Yeah.
And so we were fresh out of college. I was a year out of college. Dan was in San Francisco getting his master's degree in psychology from Williams College, and we both were just poor. So we had to get these night jobs to support our day life.
You were working like 4 jobs. Let's be clear. You had a fucking day trading job. Then you'd come to the thing at night and do your job with us. And then we'd start to do our like weird promotional shit too. I mean, you were working another job too, if I remember.
I actually had 6 jobs, but
in a room like this big with literally it fit his single bed. And like, I could kind of fit in there to like do some work with him.
Yeah. So before we became friends though, we were standing on this corner. And this guy, dude, Newhall's wearing this like dark forest green hoodie, and he's pissed. And for those of you that don't know Dan, he's very different now, but back then he was super grumpy, and he's just grumpy and pissed. So I mean, like, listen, it's fucking 45 degrees year round in fucking San Francisco. So 50 degrees, cold. It's Saturday night. It's not hopping at the place. And we're just standing there, and he's like, I got to. And you're standing outside. So it's not like you're sitting inside. You're standing outside for 5 hours straight. And so, like, there's always so much you can do. You're IDing people, you're collecting door money. And and now, mind you, I had worked my way through college doing this at a pretty cool place. So for me, I was like, oh yeah, this is just part of the deal. So the way you bide your time when you're working at a door like that is you chat with the other person working the door with you. But not Grumpy over here. He wouldn't fucking utter a word. I'd be like, hey, where are you from? Oh yeah, I'm from Montana. Hey, how long you lived in San Francisco for? Yeah, I just moved here. Oh, where'd you go to college? Oh, I went to Williams College. Oh, what's your name? Oh, my name's Darius. Oh, yeah, cool. This is like this. I'm like, dude, this guy's a fucking asshole.
It went on for that for like 2 months.
Yeah, and so then I was like, I got a challenge. I'm gonna make this guy my friend. So no, man, we ended up. It was actually he thought Newhall thought out pretty quickly, and then we ended up throwing parties together, and then we ended up being like the center of this like massive group of friends. And it was like, listen, like when you're 23, 24 years old and you have nowhere better to be, you and your friends just go out and rage all the time. And so we would just go partying, and we dance parties and stay up all night. We start throwing parties, and we'd work during the day a little bit, and then we'd party all night. And we became fast friends, man. And where I think we cemented our friendship was one night Dan's like, hey, you want to come to my house and drink Jack Daniels on my stoop? And I had never drank Jack Daniels before. So I go to his house, and he has this really like kind of like steep stoop on Central and Fulton in San Francisco.
Lion.
Sorry, Lion. Pardon me. Lion. It was a block off. There we go. Lion Street. Yeah. So we're sitting on Lion. He busts out like a 2-liter bottle of Coke and a bottle of Jack. And we just sat there, and we were just like drinking straight out of the bottle. It just got hammered on his stoop. At number one, I was like, I learned 2 things. A, I really loved Newhall. And B, I love drinking Jack and Coke with him. And we just sat there, and I never even drank Jack before that. But that was Dan introduced me to Jack Daniels, and dude, it was a fast friendship, man. And we've been really best friends for a long ass time, dude.
Yeah. There's been a lot of iterations. I mean, this could be a 8-hour call. A lot of things happened in San Francisco when we were there. Honestly, I always thought it was funny. Like we had that funny dynamic when we were working the door. Because, whoever's out there watching and maybe doesn't know Darius from the past, he used to be much bigger. And
way bigger.
Like much more intimidating. And it was this funny dynamic because I was this like scrawny little grumpy guy, and I would be the hammer, and he was like the like softy who was like buttering up all the guests as they'd come through the door, and he weighed 350 pounds.
Good cop, bad cop.
Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah, that was fun times, man. And so we spent, when did you left in what, 2014? 15?
Yeah, 15.
So we both spent our very formative years from like 2001 till I left in 17. Newhall went to Bozeman in 15. Yep. And yeah, man, we met our wives there. We had our first kids. Like, it's pretty awesome, dude. Yep. And so it's been a long time coming. This summer I'm going to Montana where he's at, hang out with him and his family for a month. But yeah, I'm his son's godfather, my godson, Dodge. So yeah, man, it's been good times. But yeah, he's like, I want to come on the show. I'm like, hell yeah, let's get on the show and let's chop it up and hang out.
Yeah. So, I've been trying to figure out what I'm going to talk about, but it sounds like an open forum, which is a great forum for me.
Total, it's a greatness machine, man. It's about those who are living their passions to create greatness in the world. I thought we could talk about, the things that you've done in your life that you feel great about. And like, Newhall's, he's an owner and managing partner at Perigon Wealth Management. And they're doing some cool things over there. Some really interesting things for business people that are watching this, just around the RIA space. And he's got my man here, like you're seeing a lot of like mics and headsets. It's because Newhall is a awesome musician. So I think maybe if we get lucky, he'll play a little ditty or two for us. And yeah, why don't you start off by maybe playing a ditty for us? Let's see some music.
Oh shit! All right,
let's do it.
Right into it then.
Yes, I want play me a song.
Okay, so this is gonna, so we're gonna do a few things here, D. That'll be kind of fun for everybody. We're gonna loop some tracks.
Oh, I love it.
So let me make sure that everybody can kind of see what's going on. Mostly you.
Let's do it. Do it.
All right. So basically, we're gonna use like a bunch of these pedals that are down here and all these speakers that are here. So we're going to lay a bass line. Then we're going to do another track on top of that.
Awesome.
And then we'll do some singing.
Let's do it.
We'll do some jamming. Does that sound fair?
Dude, let's do it. Let's spend like a few minutes. Let's show.
A couple minutes. It'll take 3 to 5 minutes.
Let's do it. 3 to 5 minutes.
It'll be fun. Let's see how I loop it. All right, here we go.
All right. This is the first live musical performance on The Greatness Machine by my main man, Dan Newhall. So interesting. Everyone's like waiting for the moment. So what instruments are you going to play? Can you hear us? Oh, he can't.
Here we go.
Yeah. All right. Oh, yeah. All right. Nice.
Let me know if this is too loud, D. All right.
Can you hear me? Oh, I don't think you can hear me. That's all right.
Sounds okay.
I love it, man. Oh, that's so cool.
Oh, you can't see me.
No, we can't see you.
I'm looking for a chateau. 21 rooms, but won't do. I don't want to buy it. I just want to rent it for a minute or two.
Oh, I love it, man. That was awesome. Get back over here. Come back.
Anyways, I don't want to take up too much
Oh,
time.
that was so cool. I've never seen you do that. That's so fucking badass.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, because there's more sounds that I get to make, which is fun. So,
Yeah, dude. So, bro, when did you start playing guitar? When I first met you?
No, I started in college. Yeah.
But like you were nowhere near this good. Like when we
No. It's quarantine. This is a quarantine deal. So yeah. I wasn't this. Yeah. I got a lot better in the last 18 months. That's for sure.
So we got someone just asked, Dan, how long have you been playing for? So college. So what?
20 years. Yeah. 22 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I met Dan was when you were first learning, right?
Yeah.
And then,
definitely.
And then what, like 8 or 9 years ago, you're in a band, and that's when like at that point you were pretty good. But this is next level, dude.
Yeah, this is different because I'm doing everything now. Yeah. And it's a lot of fun because I get to, honestly, it's been like the biggest sort of spiritual practice in my life, certainly for the last 18 months. And I probably play at least 60 to 90 minutes a day. And I've really gotten into this like looping and recording stuff and all the electronic stuff, which is really fun. And now I do a lot of stuff with Logic or GarageBand. It's kind of the juiced up version of GarageBand.
Yeah.
And I'll record things. I've sent you some songs and whatnot, but and that's pretty fun too, because you know, the world's really your oyster. It's, you know, you're not just sort of confined to an acoustic guitar. But this, like, you know, all this new electric stuff is just like, it's so much fun. It's just
so cool. And there's a guy, have you ever seen Reggie Watts? You ever seen this guy?
Yeah, he's actually from Great Falls, Montana, which is
you know what's funny? I knew that.
Clear mind.
So did you?
Crazy. You went to school with my sister.
Dude, you know that I hung out with them at the TED conference.
I think you told me that. Yeah. Like a couple years ago, right?
So he's the first guy I ever saw do basically take a mixer and start laying down all these beats. He did it with his mouth, right? But he does the same thing where he'll do like a sound. And if you Google anyone that's like watching this, go look at YouTube, Reggie Watts human beatbox or something like that. But he does he'll make like guitar sounds with his mouth. Yeah, he'll start singing over it. The guy's I think he was on Conan O'Brien show.
He's super famous now.
Yeah. I didn't know him when I met him. He was just like, I was at TED.
That's funny.
He was kind of unknown then. He was on Comedy Central or something like that. But yeah,
he's definitely, I would say he's probably the most famous guy or one of the most famous guys to ever come out of Great Falls, Montana. That's for sure.
So dude, so you're Montana born and bred. And you're back, you left for quite some time, about a third of your life. And then maybe more, 40% of your life. And then what drew you back to Montana?
Oh man. Having kids in the middle of San Francisco, probably more than anything. Yeah. So also, you know, my folks are here. So just kind of general stuff that would bring anyone back. And some of the resources here, just for my immediate family, having my parents close and then that family ranch, you know, that we go up to and all these different places that we can go is pretty fun. So that's what brought me back. I want to talk, speaking about the ranch. So when we were 23, Newhall's like, that's this family ranch that his grandfather bought with some buddies that now a bunch of families own. This is crazy ranch, cattle ranch that's now a hunting ranch, right outside Great Falls, Montana. And so he does this reunion with all his college friends, and so he and I drive from San Francisco to Montana over like 2.5 days. We sleep in some roach motel in Idaho. This is totally sketch, but yeah, no, we had good times. And then we went out there and it was complete freaking mayhem. Potato guns, spice racks. Wait, spice racks is a whole other thing. Let's save that for the not live portion.
Dr. McGillicuddy's
let's talk about when we were going to Havasu, and I thought it was like an hour and a half away, and I got in with my fucking trunks. And I was like, let's go. And you're like, where's your shit? And I'm like, we're going swimming, right? At Lake Havasu. And you're like, yeah, it's going to be 16 hours or something like that. All right. And I was like, okay, let's go.
So I organized this spring break trip. Because I'm a year out of college, but I lived with a bunch of kids that were 2 years younger than me. And I invited all these people, 20 people to go. We're into these luxury condos in Lake Havasu, Arizona, which is 2 or 3 hours outside LA. And it's 14 or 15 hours from San Francisco. So I pick him up at his house, and he is literally nothing, like a little duffel bag. Yeah. So I'm like, "Where's your shit?" He's like, "Oh yeah, where we're going?" I'm like, "We're going to fucking Arizona, dude." So we went there.
It was up by Lake Berryessa.
Yeah. And so listen, for those of you that I don't even know if it's like that still, but it was a fucking shit show. It was Girls Gone. Anyone that ever watched Girls Gone Wild, they shot half the season at this place.
Yeah, exactly.
It was Girls Gone Wild. There was these boats with flames shooting off the top.
Yeah. Out of the exhaust, real flames.
Flame. It was a monster truck rally on a river.
Yeah. Yes, that's what it was.
Yeah. And I'm not. Hey, dude, am I even slightly exaggerating? Not even.
No.
But the best part of the whole trip was they all the people in our condo ended up doing naked Olympics at 3 in the morning on the 4th day we were there. It was funny, being in San Francisco during that time, there was so much nudity. There was so much nakedness going on. We had naked everything. So I don't know.
I think we were running around in circles where we were more likely to bump into naked people than we are now. That's what I think, Darius.
I'm gonna tell you what's up, dude. I don't think people get naked the same way now because of smartphones.
I just don't think we're running around in the same circles of people.
No, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, I don't think people get naked like they used to because in public because of smartphones. Smartphones, it gets documented forever. We were the last generation where you could butt fucking naked and nobody could document it.
That's true.
Hey, millennials, you suck. You don't get to get naked like us Gen Xers.
It's out. Even though you had all those awesome dating apps that let you get laid all the time.
Fuck you and your Tinder. We got naked.
We ran around naked and laid Havasu in 01, you bastards.
Yeah, with flame shooting out of our boats. So, oh shit, man. Anyway, you knew we were gonna go there.
Yeah.
So, dude, I lost my train of thought. I was trying to make a point with you.
Well, you want to talk business at all, or you want to keep talking personal?
Oh, no, business. We could talk a little bit, but anyone that's watching business, we've already just ruined all the chances of them doing business.
It's not that fun anymore. Yeah.
Hey, no, you know why I brought up Montana? So I get invited. Dan has this hunting trip every year in Montana, and so Newhall is amazing because he's like a nice combination of an urban person and a fucking country Montana dude, like total. So when I go to the ranch with him in 2002, he was in straight up Wrangler mode. We're riding horses on a mountain. I was like, what? I was born in LA, right? Yeah. So like my parents' idea of camping was going to the Circus at Las Vegas. Right? Yeah. like there was no camping when I grew up. And Newhall was just like straight up cowboy when I go to his ranch. Yeah. And so a few years ago back, probably 8 years ago, you guys started hunting elk, right? Yeah. And every year he's inviting me to go hunt elk with him. And I'm like, and dude, the weekend is like the third weekend in October, which happens.
Mariah's birthday.
No, it's my wedding anniversary.
Oh, that's what it is.
I knew it was something. It's like 2 weekends a year you can't ever ditch out on besides Christmas and like New Year's. And it's like your spouse or significant other's birthday and your wedding anniversary. Like there's no hall passes for that shit. Yeah. Yeah. So he's like, dude, you got to come hunting. And I've never hunted because, again, my dad's idea of hunting was like shooting like water balloons at the fucking fair, right? So we go out there and we're hunting for like 3 days, and dude, it's kind of like boring. Like it's cold and we're not getting anything, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck's this hunting shit? Like I've never hunted before my whole life. Never shot a rifle, never hunted, and they're like. And we're waking up bright ass, like crack of dawn, dark outside. It's fucking cold outside. And we're laying in the bushes waiting for these elk to supposedly show up, and they don't. And then we go back out at nighttime right before it gets dark, and we're hiding in the bush. You can't talk. And like, obviously I like to talk a lot. So I'm like, what the fuck, man? This sucks. So we're coming back after 3 days. We haven't killed anything or shot anything, which I know you PETA lovers are like, fuck you, Darius. Sorry. I went for the action. Okay. I went for the friendship. I stayed for the action. And so it's me, Newhall, Mizzy, and Preston. We're all in Montana. You only go by nicknames or last names. That's it. And so it's all nicknames, last names, except me. I go by I'm a nickname, D. So we're coming back to the ranch, and all of a sudden we approach about 300 yards away, 250, 300 yards away is a little pasture in front of the house. And there's a whole flock of bucks and deers. And the Montana guys are like, D, you're going to get one of these. Yeah. You're going to bag one of these.
You're going to kill one of these things right
and
now.
I'm like, no.
He's like, oh shit, this is happening quick.
I mean, we went from like 0 to 100 real quick.
Just have a few cocktails.
We went really fast. It was like, I was like, whoa, why are we going to third base? I just want to foreplay a little. Can you nibble on my earlobe? You're sitting here like trying to bang me.
It's time to ride.
It was, dude, it got hot and heavy quick.
Yep.
And so I'll let you, I've told this story a lot of times, but I want to hear your version of the story. That's why I brought this up.
Oh man. Well, we're like basically like trying to just sneak up on these deer. I mean, hunting is like, to Darius's point, it's like the most boring possible thing that you can do. And then all of a sudden it's as if you jump, like you're skydiving off a cliff, basically. Yeah, basically. Like once the action starts happening, it's the same like somatic experience as if you're jumping out of an airplane.
Straight up.
The excitement is crazy. And so we get there, and I mean, I don't even know what's going on. It's getting dark quick. There's snow everywhere. It's cold. Yeah, we're just on the way back to the thing, and then we get Darius lined up, and then we're all sitting there, and all of the Montana guys know exactly where the fucking deer is, right? We're like, don't you see it? And we keep telling him which one to shoot, and we have our binos on, and he's trying to find it through this like scope of his gun. And we're trying to tell him, like, it's a little to the left. And like, we're all talking to him, and he's like, I don't know. So he picks one, fucking lets one rip. And then we're like, shit, did you hit it? And then we're like, wait a second. Because sometimes you don't know, they just freeze, right? And then sure enough, he just smacked it. And we showed up, and it was dead on arrival, if I remember correctly.
So no, it wasn't.
It wasn't dead on arrival.
It wasn't.
Right.
It's kind of a gruesome, sad story. It ends sadly, so we won't tell the sad story because people won't like me as much. But I mean, like, it was I never shot a thing in my life. So I pull the trigger. So first of all I see is 3 little pixels in my little binoculars and scope, and I'm like, I can't see shit. Right. So the binoculars, you can see it. On the scope, it's like 3 little gray squares, and I'm like. Yeah. I'm like, I can't see it, man. I don't want to screw it up because I'm thinking I'm screwing up these guys' hunting trip. And they're like, no. And little I don't know. All they want is for me to shoot a gun, regardless if I hit the thing or not. Yeah. Right. So, and the other part of this, which is the biggest part of the whole story, is that none of them expected me to hit the thing.
Yeah. That's right. I looked into it, and I was like, oh man, just let one rip, D. I think we're fine.
So I didn't know. First of all, it's 250 yards out, which is that's 2.5 football fields away. Yeah. So I'd never shot a rifle before. It's getting dark. It's 250 yards away, and these guys have zero expectation that I'm going to come close to this thing. Yeah. And so I'm like, all right, fuck it. I get him into God's will, and I'm like, I'm just going to follow the thing with I'm going to follow the scope on the 3 little squares, and when they say fire, I'm going to pull the trigger. Follow, fire. Poof, pull the trigger. All of a sudden, now mind you, I've never shot a rifle before in my whole life. My ears are ringing, like explosion comes out of the muzzle. Ears are ringing. I'm fully disoriented, and I hear this. Oh my god! He fucking hit it! And so I'm like, what do you mean he hit it? I was like fully convinced I was going to hit it. Little did I know I wasn't supposed to hit it.
No.
And so we start running back we get in the truck. We start driving to go see what the hell happened. And the thing is still alive. It hit him in the spine. And Newhall just takes like really quickly, kills the animal.
Put it out of its misery.
Yeah, it was kind of sad. But I will say it hangs on my wall. We've eaten a lot of the meat. We said a prayer for the animal. We dressed it in the field. Gave it a nice ceremony. Yep. And then it was a very
spiritual experience, to be honest. I mean, and that's really the way that we try and approach it, for sure. I
actually think everyone should kill an animal and then eat it, and I think that they would have a totally different appreciation about food.
Yeah,
like I never thought of food like that until after that. My thought process around food changed.
Yeah, it's something else. I've actually found myself eating a little bit less meat as I've become more of a hunter. I'm a little more selective of some of the meat that I eat and where it comes from and whatnot. But, typically these days, what I'm really trying to do is kill elk specifically with my bow, which is a whole other kind of thing where you're calling them in and interacting with the animals. And there's this kind of spiritual component to it. That's pretty cool. But
that's great. That's crazy, man. Yeah. So especially like, how does that work? What if you hit them and it doesn't hurt them, right?
Yeah. So that happens, right? And so you have to
injure them, right?
Yeah, that's right. And we actually had an elk in rifle season this year that we injured, and we had to go back and get it the next day. And we found it the next day, like 3 miles away from where I originally hit it. Wow. And we found it and we killed it, and it was fine. And we packed it out and we ate all the meat and all that. But yeah, sometimes because elk in particular, they're so big, they're 800 pounds. And you can injure them, especially if you don't have or if your shot with an arrow is a little bit off for one reason or another, right? And then you track them, and so you track them through blood. So really, after you hit them, regardless of if you hit them right on or not, what you do with a bow is you actually blow some cow calls to try and keep the bull or the animal close, because they're going to feel something hit them, right? Mm-hmm. They don't know what it is. They start running. And then you want to try and keep them close so that if you didn't hit them right in the heart or right in the lungs and they don't drop immediately, that you wait for 45 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, depending on where you think you hit the animal, sometimes a day, even if you're in snow and it's easily trackable. And then you go and you track the animals after that.
I will tell you. So the only thing I had that like freaked me out about what do you call it, hunting, was before we got the what do you call it? Before we got the oh shoot, what does it say? Oh, so before we got the deer, we were tracking a bear for like 2 or 3 hours. Okay,
Tracking the bear,
a black bear, and it was me, and we're like, dude, like I've never hunted before, so I don't know what any of this stuff is. I'm like, oh, don't you just like kind of kick back, drink beers, bullshit, and like shoot things?
Yeah,
like, no, it's the opposite. It's like you're straight up like hunting, like you're hiding and you're like trying to get after them. And these are fucking, dude, it's a bear. It's not like it's a squirrel. This thing. So they're like, if it charges, my favorite part is I'm up on a rock and Newhall's like out there hunting it.
Get over there to go get it.
And he goes to find it and he's like, hey, so just be up here. Like Darius, if it charges you, if it charges you, you better shoot it, right?
Shoot it.
And I was like, charge me?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean charge me?
Oh man.
So
I'll tell you,
dude, I was freaked the fuck out.
I know. And then I went up to go look for him, and then I heard this rustling in the trees, and I was like, I'm out of here. I can't see this thing. Like this.
Dude, it's like a 600-pound brown bear.
This thing is hunting me at this point.
Yeah,
it's time to get off this fucking mountain.
Like, can you imagine? Like, listen, man. No. At least you are a skilled hunter. I'm a fucking amateur.
Right.
Like,
I know. And I stuck you on a rock with a gun that was like this.
Yeah, it was like a cannon. It was a cannon, and I'm like, if this thing comes at me, what if I don't hit it? Like, like I just am picturing this thing raking its claws over my face. Right? I'm like sitting there having images of a bear killing me. Right. And I was like, I don't even want to do this. I didn't even want to be here. Like, I just want to hang out with my buddies. Let alone I'm sitting here worried about a fucking bear clawing me to death.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the same night that we took off to go get some cocktails, and we ran into the deer. That was the same night that we killed the deer, I think.
Oh man, what a crazy adventure.
Man.
So we've had in this conversation we talked about flame-throwing boats, nudity, and hunting bears and shooting my first deer. I mean, this is what
covered a lot of hot topics.
Friendship at its finest. We don't even we haven't even talked. By the way, this is the funniest thing I want the audience to realize. This is the fucking PG version of our friendship.
Oh yeah.
This is super PG-13 maybe.
This is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Yeah. And the real life version is straight up Deep Throat 1972. Okay. I'm leaving so much good shit out of this conversation.
So good.
Oh man. So, dude. So, yeah, let's talk biz. So, dude, okay. you guys are doing some. So, Dan works with. There's a group of y'all, and you guys went to college together.
Yeah.
And you guys are owners of Perigon Wealth Management. You guys are working with high net worth individuals and RIAs, and RIAs are registered investment advisors. And you guys are doing some amazing things. A lot of M&A. Tell us what's going on, dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is something that I'm super juiced about, as you know, D. I think, I came from a different business that I owned and operated for a long time in San Francisco, and then graduated into this business and have been working with Art, Chuck, and a few others over here. And I couldn't be more excited about what we're up to and what we're doing. And, frankly, we did, she'll be proud of me. I just sent out a job offer today, and it was the first offer letter that I incorporated our core values in. So I was pretty psyched about it. And, and frankly, we've seen a lot of really explosive growth, and we've gone from 2 or 3 people in the last, 2 or 3 years ago to about 50 people. And we're about to be about 60 or 70 here in the next couple months.
Nice.
Doing mergers and acquisitions activity, which is really the vertical that I work in. Arthur and I sort of run the, what we call inorganic growth. But really what we're coming to find is the stuff that we've talked to you about. And we're working on it more and more with Nathaniel and other people, is that you talk a lot about scale, and, you're the first person that we connected with when it was like, shit, this thing's starting to take off. And, we want to lay a foundation for a scalable business. We're still working on it, but I mean, honestly, it's becoming a way more serious priority in our business as we grow more quickly. So yeah, I mean, that's really what we're up to. I mean, generally on a day-to-day basis, I'm doing a lot of kind of business development, talking to people out there in the industry and whatnot. But I think our industry is pretty interesting. It's going through a really, kind of interesting metamorphosis from this sort of older banking situation into this more independent scenario, these RIA scenarios, which is what we're doing. But yeah, that's what we're up to. I don't want to bore people too much. There might be more interesting.
No. Well, we could go so many different directions. So I do want to talk a little bit. Well, we had a question. Dan, have you ever been charged by a bear?
Never. Nope. No. And I do a lot of running. That's a good question. And I do a lot of mountain running around Montana, and I carry bear spray, no question. And I do know people that have been charged. Nobody. I haven't met anyone who's actually been attacked, but I've met people who've had to use their bear spray and things like that. They're out running. It happens quite a bit.
I've met someone who knew someone who got attacked by a bear, like gnarly, and he killed the bear.
Wow.
Yeah. I can't remember the story, but they had like one of these seaplanes and they landed in the river, and the husband gets out and the bear fucking like almost kills the husband. And then he like somehow survives. And I think he either kills the bear or scares him off. They get in the seaplane and they like call Mayday and shit. And someone comes and like basically saves his life. Wow. Yeah, I heard this crazy story, man. I should figure out. I'll remember it and I'll tell you later. But anyway, I remember that story. I was like, oh, that sounds crazy.
The majority of our bears, at least close to, in Bozeman, the Bozeman area, are going to be black bears, not grizzly bears. So grizzly bears are the cute ones, but they're also the really aggressive ones, and they're typically a little bit further up in the mountains.
Yeah,
than we are, so we don't bump into a ton of them.
They're up in near like in Canada and shit like that, right?
Yeah, or they're just at higher elevations, so you got to get real high up to go bump into them.
This guy got attacked by a grizzly bear. Yeah. I wanted to talk to you a little bit. Actually, now that you reminded me, so I did the core values for Perigon. Yeah. This was about a year. Yeah. It took about, I don't know, it took a while to get it done, but you guys got it done, and I actually owe them a rollout for supporting the book launch. And I want a testimonial from you on it because I'm going to use it. So remind me to grab it from you guys. So what have you, like, as far as, you've heard me like be the Pied Piper of scale and core values for all this time. And obviously it's like something that like intuitively makes sense, but you never actually like did it really until now, right? This is the first time you've actually played with this stuff, right? In a business.
You mean with this offer that I sent out today?
No, not just that. Just the actual tool of using core values in your business. Like you guys didn't use it in the recruiting company, did you?
Oh, no.
No. So this is the first company that you've been a part of, because you've kind of been an entrepreneur more or less for most of your career.
Yeah.
This is the first time you've actually taken this thing that I was using. And by the way, Dan, like anyone that reads my book, I should have put a dedication page to you, because you were just hanging out the whole time with me when all this shit was going on. So Dan had a front row seat to pretty much the whole book, So the whole thing. One of the funny things,
all the way through,
all of it, and he was like, and everyone I was around then was either in my social circle were in the fucking business with me. But Newhall wasn't. He was out of the business. He was just like my one person I could hang out with who wasn't an employee of mine. Yeah. It was terrible.
Those were wild times.
Oh, it was terrible. But so he saw when my business was fucked up. He saw my business get crushed. He saw my business kick ass, get crushed, and then the next thing that ended up doing well. So it's kind of cool.
So to just piggyback a little bit on what you were talking about with my old business and not doing core values and whatnot, I didn't like that business because it was a transactional business. So if we're talking about businesses, and actually something that I did that I think is really, really important for people to do, frankly, which was, all right, I think that sometimes people will get caught up in, what's my passion? What am I passionate about? I'm going to go do this. Everybody's got to have fucking passion. That's bullshit. I think that if you're doing a job that juices you up, that you're good to go. You're passionate about it, right? It doesn't matter what that thing is, right? That you don't have to name it, so to speak. And as we sort of grow, what I've come to find is really that I'm passionate about autonomy. I'm passionate about, being able to function autonomously within whatever group that I'm kind of with. I'm passionate about strategy. I love talking about strategy, and I'm passionate about culture. And so once I started to kind of figure those things out, my old business, but then I was like, okay, so I want to find something where I can be autonomous. I can be an owner. That was a critical piece for me, frankly. And then, also I can grow and flourish within the business structure itself. And so I looked for a business that had what I thought was an interesting business model and recurring revenue, right? And so you get annuitized revenue that builds on itself. It also, from a business perspective, it's industry standards to get paid on assets under management. So as markets go up, there's tailwinds there. So I was like, this is a really fundamentally sound business. So I did what any good pirate would do. And I started studying by myself in my fucking room for the Series 65. And then I drove my ass to Helena twice to go take this test because I failed it the first fucking time. Took it again, didn't have any end game. I just knew that I wanted to get into this industry. And I was like, and I passed my test and then got my accreditation, and I was, able to be a lot more nimble. And frankly, because I did that, even though I didn't know, I had no end game. I was like, I just have to start doing shit, right?
Yeah.
I have to just start putting one foot in front of the other, right?
Yeah.
And if I wouldn't have done that, there's no way that I would have been in the position that I was in, because I wouldn't have been able to capitalize on becoming the CCO of the business, right? Because I wouldn't have been registered. I wouldn't have been qualified. So I guess the lesson there from where I sit, and something that's important, and something I guess I just really value is people that put one foot in front of the other, right? Even if there's not an end game, even if they're not super specific about what their passion is, I think it's important to just, for me, it was important to understand what's important to me, right? So, it wasn't about like, oh, I'm so passionate. I can fucking play music and be passionate about it, right?
Yeah.
Let's do some other stuff. Like when it comes to business, and now I'm in this position and in this partnership that it gives me so much energy and juice. I couldn't be more excited about it.
Yeah.
But it took a lot of silly decisions where you're like, I'm sitting there and I'm studying for a test in an industry. It would be like you, Darius, going and studying for a test in, the HR industry or something, right?
Sure.
It's a totally different industry. And I'm sitting there studying the test by myself with no plan, just knowing that like, I got to get out of this transactional business and find something that is an end game for me that hits these boxes of autonomy, ownership, right? And then obviously a nice partnership. So
yeah, well, I mean, what I just heard you say is that you found things that you valued. What were your values around work, right? Then there's some strategy there too, as far as reoccurring revenue and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But for you, it was, what do I value in my work life? And then you went and tried to align that with some sort of job or opportunity, which I think a lot of people get wrong. To your point, I think they go, man, I love playing music. I need to be a musician, man.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Like, I think that you look, you never want to not do it and then have regrets, right? Yeah. So, but the time to do that is probably when you're young, when you have way more opportunity to, like, where there's opportunity cost is lower, right? I think a lot of people don't. I mean, I'm an example of that. I was someone that like jumped hardcore into business and like didn't really like nurture my creative side, and then had some regrets about it, and then had a fucking blow up when I was 41 or whatever, and all I did was creative shit for a year. Hence we're on a show now.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was cool, but at one point I was like, all right, like I've done 100 shows, like I need to go do something where I make money again, because I like to make money. I like to build. I like to build businesses. Yeah. So I started doing that, and so I'll say a couple provocative statements. Number one is I do think passion is important, but I think passion from a career standpoint is not important. To your point, I think values are important from a career perspective.
Yeah. So to this point, I think it's really important to like I'm passionate about being an owner and building a business. I think that if people are not passionate about that and they're more interested in some type of like an internal role or working with a team or collaborating more or whatever that is, right? one thing, and I come from the recruiting world, so I see these statistics all day long for my entire life. But really the most critical thing for job satisfaction, I know there's probably a lot of entrepreneurs this doesn't apply to them, but is your relationship with your direct supervisor or your direct manager.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
So
it's crazy.
80% of people's, I'll just use the term job satisfaction. We know that satisfaction is not a great term, but anyways, 80% of people's job satisfaction comes from their relationship with their immediate supervisor. So that's a critical thing. And that comes down to what you're talking about, D, which is values, right? So you got to make sure that your values are aligned with their values. And if your values are aligned with their values, your working relationship probably going to be pretty good. And you guys are going to kick some ass. Totally. Regardless of what industry you're in. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what you're doing. Doesn't matter if you're building bricks.
You just gave me an idea. I'm adding a question to my thing, the thing I do in business called a full body scan, which is, do my values align to my direct manager's values? I'm totally adding that question. You just totally gave me an idea on that. So I came up with this thing that I coined the fulfillment formula, which is how well am I living in my values? How well am I? Oh, who's calling me in the middle of this? Come on. It's a show, for Christ's sake.
We're live.
What are you doing? My computer and my phone are hooked up. This is why Apple products suck. They all talk to each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like, am I living in my values? Am I working in my talents? Am I doing it with a high level of awareness? And am I sleeping well, eating well, and exercising? If I'm doing all those things, like, life's good, But when people get all caught up in like, man, I just want to be an artist. And I'm like, dude, go be an artist. But if you can't pay the bills with it, then it's not scalable. It's not functional.
Well, yeah. And then your future tripping and your somatic experience is taken out of the present and all the rest.
Yeah, it's and even if you were to do it, I'll tell you what, you show me the hottest person in the world and I'll show you someone that's tired of fucking them.
Yeah.
Like, the minute you're doing the thing you love, if I eat pizza, I love pizza, man. But like, if I eat pizza every fucking day, I hate pizza. And I love pizza. Yep. So like, just because you love doing something, like, I love pizza. My kids are like, why don't we open a pizza restaurant? I'm like, because then I'll hate pizza.
Yep.
Like, and it's a hobby, and there's a difference between being passionate about a hobby and or being passionate about your career. And I think people get a little bit too caught up in the outcome. And I'm like, listen, the win is in the process. It's not in the outcome. The outcome, you'll hit it, and then you'll move to the next outcome. The
win is in the process. There's no question about that. And the process, for me, starts as an inside job, really, right? I think life is an inside job, and again, I can show you a million examples of people who don't have all of the material things in the world, but they're fucking kicking ass at life, right?
Totally, man. And, life is an inside job. We should make a T-shirt.
Inside job.
That should be a bump. If this was the 70s, that'd be a bumper sticker.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, well, dude, we're getting wrapped up here. Cool. Why don't we end on you play a little ditty for us for a few minutes, and then we'll peace out.
Oh man, okay, I can do that.
Can you do that? Can you play a little ditty for us?
Yeah. You want me to just sing you a song?
Dude, sing us a song on acoustic guitar. I want acoustic guitar.
No, you're gonna get electric. I'm not gonna blow you out though. It's gonna be nice and chill. All right.
You could go a little louder than you did last time.
Okay, it's a song you'll hear it. It's a song about a trucker who's not doing so great.
I love it. Let's do it.
All right, give me a sec.
All right, let's do it. The guys, Newhall's going to play us a little ditty, and then we're going to get wrapped up. While he's doing that, guys, listen, we have a big week ahead of us. We got Jordan Harbinger tomorrow, so he's going to be on the air with us tomorrow night. He has one of the top business podcasts in the show, the Jordan Harbinger Show. And then we got Hobie, who's an amazing scientist. I don't have his last name in front of me, but he's on Friday. So it's an action-packed week. And then, guys, I'm launching my core value mastermind. You can go to dariusclass.com and check that out. That's launching this week as well. And last but not least, guys, sign up for the website, www.therealdarius.com. Subscribe to our show on YouTube.
Just learn this one, D, so.
Yeah, he doesn't know. I don't know if you can hear it. and guys, follow us on social. Follow us.
Scotty.
All right, sign up for the mailing list. We're going to let Newhall finish this up here, and then we're going to wrap up the show. Love you guys, and let's end on something strong.
Got her letter in a little mail. box I forgot I read it at an old truck stop. Read it once and I read it again. I could hardly keep from crying. I've been driving around the last week or so with an empty truck. I don't have a load. I don't care, 'cause to tell you the truth, I think I might be dying. And it's trucker speed, Benzedrine, Percocet, and amphetamine, black beauties and West Coast turnaround. When the coast is clear, I drive with my knees. I mix it all up like a recipe. Coca-Cola and coffee to wash it down. Sometimes I feel like my wheels ain't touching the ground. At the side of the road I said, you're a mess. When I told him she did, leave an address. Then he got another call, said, wait right here, I'll be back in a little while. I put my head across my arms and I stepped on the wheel for an hour or more. And I started it up and I took off into the night. And it's trucker speed, Benzedrine, Percocet, and amphetamine, black beauties and West Coast turnaround. When the coast is clear, I drive with my knees. I mix it all up like a recipe. Coca-Cola and coffee to wash it down. Sometimes I feel like my wheels ain't touching the ground. I've been high center, low throttle. When I was stuck, I peed in a bottle. I've been so lonesome, I made Hank Williams look like a party of five. I've been beat up, broke down, loaded on a truck and driven into town. I always thought you'd be there at the end of the line. I always thought you'd be there at the end of the line. And it's trucker speed, Benzedrine, Percocet, and amphetamine, black beauties and West Coast turnaround. When the coast is clear, I drive with my knees. I mix it all up like a recipe. Coca-Cola and coffee to wash it down. Sometimes I feel like my wheels ain't touching the ground. Sometimes I feel like my wheels ain't touching the ground.
That was awesome. Get your ass over here. Can you hear me? You can't hear me. Yeah, I know you can't hear me when your headset's on.
There you go.
Dude, that was awesome. Did you write that?
I didn't. No, another guy wrote it, but it's an awesome song.
Oh, I love that song, man.
Yeah, it's pretty, isn't it?
Oh, it's cool, man. Dude, we're gonna have to wrap it up. Where can people find you, brother?
Where can they find me? They can find me at dan@perigonwealth.com. And yeah, they can just give me a call anytime. You got my number, D. Just give them my number. Anybody,
Yeah,
if they're looking to find me, they ought to call you. Is really what they should fucking do.
I guess if they're trying to find you, it means they don't know you. So fuck.
Yeah,
them.
that's right. That's right. They should call you.
Dude,
Yeah.
brother, I love you, man, and I appreciate you. That was fun.
Awesome. Likewise,
Well,
that was a lot. I'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Yeah, give Lexi and the boys a hug and kiss from us. And guys, peace out from the Greatness Meeting. This is all what the Greatness Meeting is all about. This shit. Later, brother.
I love it. See ya.
Later, dude.